The sentence didn't just come out of nowhere. It detonated in the middle of a backyard filled with cheap lawn chairs, overcooked burgers, and people pretending to care about each other for the sake of tradition. I was holding a plate of ribs when my son, Leo, said it. I hadn't even put the damn food down before he fired that shot. 18 years old, leaned back in his plastic chair like a discount James Dean, arms behind his head, sunglasses still on even though the sun had dipped below the trees. I don't want your last name anymore. It's pathetic. Everyone got quiet. Forks froze. Soda cans hissed softly in hands. I didn't look at him right away. I looked at the ribs, smelled the sauce, thought about the time I spent slow smoking them that morning while replaying memories of his first Little League game. He'd struck out 3 times, cried in the car. I told him, "You carry the whole Shepherd name. We don't quit." And now here he was, chuckling like he was dropping a dead brand. "I'm taking Mom's new last name. Walker sounds cleaner, stronger," he added. The worst part wasn't the words, it was how casually he tossed them out. And when I finally raised my eyes, my ex-wife, Sandra, was already glancing away. Her new husband, Mark Walker, the man Leo apparently idolized now, let out a smug little laugh. I didn't punch him. I didn't even let my grip tighten. That would have meant he mattered. Instead, I nodded. All right. That was it. Just one word. But inside, something settled. Something ancient and silent and cold. Not rage. Rage burns fast and ugly. This was slower, like frost forming on glass. "I'll grab more ice," I said, and I walked inside. Behind me, the conversation picked up again nervously. I heard Sandra mutter something about me being overly sensitive. Mark said, "Let the boy be his own man." Someone turned the music up. Upstairs, in the quiet of the guest room, I opened the drawer of the old oak nightstand. Inside was a worn black notebook, military contacts, notes from my active duty days. I found the page. Colonel Briggs, West Point liaison. We hadn't spoken in over a decade. I once pulled his son out of a collapsed building during a training exercise. Debt like that sticks. I didn't make the call yet. I just stared at the number. Back outside, Leo strutted around. Mark handed him a beer. Sandra pretended not to see. That night, after they'd all left, I sat in the dark of my study. The house was dead quiet. I opened the notebook to Briggs's page and pressed dial. His voice hadn't changed, sharp as gravel. "Shepherd?" "Briggs, you've got a kid named Leo Shepherd in the next admission cycle. Candidate ID ending in 88. A pause. "Yours?" "He no longer carries my endorsement. I'd appreciate if you let the right people know. Discreetly. No mess. Just remove the support line." "Understood." Click. That was it. A clean, clinical excision. Next morning, the email came through. Subject: Candidate support withdrawn. Application no longer supported. I deleted it. Then I opened a new browser tab. Wills, trusts, beneficiary designations, the 529 college fund I'd built since he was 6, transferred in full to a scholarship for Gold Star families. Health insurance, dental, the optional accident protection, removed in less than 5 minutes. The system prompted me, "Are you sure you wish to remove your child as a dependent?" I clicked yes without blinking. I rewrote the medical power of attorney, the funeral directives. Do not notify next of kin unless expressly listed. The last task was symbolic. I opened my fireproof safe and pulled out a wooden box. Inside, Leo's baby bracelet, his first honor roll pin, a photo of him in fatigues at West Point summer leadership camp. I took the box to the fireplace. I burned the pin, the bracelet. The photo I kept. I slipped it into a manila envelope with printouts. He found out 8 days later via a sterile email from West Point admissions. His dream, gone in 4 sentences. The text started immediately. Leo: "Dad, I got a weird message from West Point." Leo: "Says I withdrew my app. I didn't." Leo: "This has to be a mistake. Call me." I watched them pop up. I didn't open a single one. Sandra tried next. "Daniel, what the hell is going on with West Point? Was that you?" I didn't reply. He spiraled. He called the admissions office, left voicemails, emailed, even tried to message Colonel Briggs on LinkedIn. That one got blocked. Meanwhile, I was already gone. The for sale sign went up. A cash buyer closed in 2 weeks. By the time Leo came pounding on the door of the empty house, I was 3 states away, sitting in a rented cottage by the coast. The silence, not lonely, but earned. His graduation party was everything Sandra wanted. White tents, a photo booth, custom cupcakes that read Walker Bound. It was a loud, overpriced denial of reality. Until the envelope arrived. No return address, slipped between the cards on the gift table. Sandra handed it to him. Probably one of your buddies being dramatic. He tore it open in front of the crowd. The first thing that slid out was a photo, his West Point acceptance letter, the one he'd posted on Instagram, now stamped in red, void. The second item, a 3-page printout, a timeline of his own words, screenshotted from his group chats. June 4th, told my old man to shove it today. June 4th, Shepherd is a pathetic name. June 5th, I'm a walker now. Shepherd who? June 6th, a photo of my military plaque boxed up in the garage. Caption, history, not mine. All with timestamps. The third item, a single handwritten page. Leo, you said you didn't want my name, that it was pathetic, that you were done with everything I represented. I heard you, and I respected your choice, so I gave you what you asked for, a future without me in it. No endorsements, no money, no protection, no name. You earned your place at West Point, but you destroyed your standing with the one man who made the call that got you there, the man whose name opened the door you just slammed shut. Enjoy your new path. This is what a name really meant. Dad. The party died in front of him. Laughter dimmed. His grandfather, my father's brother, read the letter over his shoulder, shook his head, and walked out. 2 of my cousins followed, then 3 more. A family fracture, silent and absolute. Sandra stood frozen, surrounded by wilting decorations. Leo sat down in a folding chair, alone, the envelope on his lap. He found me by accident 3 weeks later, outside a library in a coastal town. He looked hollow. Desperation had carved new lines in his face. "Dad," he said, the word cracking. "Please, just wait." I turned. "I didn't mean it. That stuff I said, I was just angry. I didn't think it would go this far." I let the silence stretch. "I didn't know West Point would drop me. I've tried everything. I need you. Just a letter, just a call, please." I studied him, the trembling hands, the eyes that couldn't hold mine. "You meant every word," I said, my voice quiet, "and words have weight." "I didn't." "You did, and that's fine. You're allowed to choose your own path, but don't come crawling back to the bridge you lit on fire, asking me to rebuild it." "Just help me fix it. I'll do the rest." "I didn't break it, Leo," I said, finally meeting his eyes. "You did." I turned and walked to my car. He didn't follow. He just stood there, watching the last lifeline walk away, not with anger, but with finality. The family reunion was held at the old lodge by the lake. He showed up alone, driving a borrowed sedan. Inside, a tribute wall displayed photos of family service members. My photo was there, in uniform, a small plaque below, in honor of those who still carry the Shepherd name with pride. Leo's name wasn't anywhere on that wall. The MC tapped the mic. This year's reunion was made possible by a generous donation from Daniel Shepherd, who couldn't be here today, but wanted to send his regards to the legacy that still lives and breathes among us. Polite applause. Leo didn't clap. He found table 1, reserved for the eldest. 7 chairs were filled. The 8th was empty. A place card sat beside it. He picked it up. It didn't have his name. It read, "Reserved for the name that remains." He set it down. A cousin's kid walked by wearing a Shepherd family reunion t-shirt. On the back were the names of all who contributed. My name was there. His wasn't. He walked outside and sat on the bench by the lake, the same one we'd fished from years ago, the same one where I'd once told him, legacy isn't something you inherit, it's something you honor. Now he sat with nothing to inherit, no name, no place at the table, no echo to follow. Inside, the laughter continued. Stories were told, lives moved forward, cradled by a name that had already let go of him. Daniel Shepard wasn't in the building, but his presence filled it. His donation built it. His silence sealed it. And on that bench, with nothing in his hands and no name to carry, my son realized the truth. He hadn't just lost a father. He had erased his place in the very bloodline that once carried him. The legacy hadn't ended. It had simply moved on without him. And that was Daniel Shepard's final lesson. A name isn't just letters on a birth certificate. It's a living story, forged in sacrifice, carried in silence, and honored in action. To spit on it is to erase your own place in its narrative. If this story of a quiet, devastating reckoning resonated with you, you need to be subscribed. We delve into the tales where betrayal meets unshakable consequence, where silence speaks louder than screams. This is Her Pain. Hit subscribe and ring the bell, because next week we bring you another story of a woman who discovered her husband's secret life and crafted a revenge so perfect he never saw it coming until his own world collapsed. Until then, remember, some bridges once burned are meant to stay ash.